Yo, what's poppin', everybody? Welcome to another edition of the PODI-CAST, coming at you from somewhere completely different from where you're used to seeing us, man. We're over here at the SMCG World of Wines. It's Kakwano by Masa CBD, right next to where it used to be Capello, okay? Now, it boasts over, a lot of wines from about 10 countries, and they've all been sourced from those different countries. So unless you didn't know, the wines that we're always tasting here in BW are always from South Africa. So here's an opportunity for you to actually get a taste of some real wines. You can actually come here for some tasting before you actually purchase any of them, okay? So remember, when you're coming in through the Masa CBD, just look left, you will see the hotel to your right, and then you'll be able to see World of Wines to your left. Are open on Tuesdays until Sundays. From 12:30 until 9 p.m. Okay, so please do come out. It's a fresh new joint. They've got so many different types of wines from all over the world. The one we're going to be experiencing today is all the way from France. There's a difference, guys. There is a difference. Take it from someone who's had a couple of glasses of wine. There is a smoothness to a couple of these wines that I've experienced. Even our guest will attest to that. So yeah, make sure you come out. SMCG Wines, you can Google them, or you can just come out to World of Wines right here at Masa CBD. I'm SCAR, I'm your host, and today we have one of the brightest stars to ever come out of BW music as far as songwriting is concerned, because a lot of the times when R&B or singers come out in Botswana, most of the time they try to do R&B, they sing in English. But this kid came out and all he had was some Setswana for your ass. Like, pause. But there was a lot of Setswana that was going on that I didn't even think a guy of his age could even be able to put together on a song. And the songs actually go mainstream and actually start getting him shows and performances throughout the whole country. He won himself the 2015 season of My Star. He is a young man from Madinari.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, give it up for Motlha. What's up, Papa?
Thank you, Pa.
Long time no see. Well, I see you in the streets, but I'm sure a lot of people haven't seen you out there.
Yeah.
But I think I saw a track that you released with it's a South African DJ.
Yeah, but a couple of those guys I've worked with.
Yeah. I was wondering what's going on, because I'm always used to you with the slow flow, chording, but now here we were picking it up. I think it was just a little bit after COVID.
Yeah.
What was going on with that?
First of all, my nigga, thank you for the invite.
Thank you for coming, Papa.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And let me say greetings to Motswana Gwalapeng, and shout out to Mongole out there in the world, because, we talk to a lot of people through our music. So
yes, sir.
I believe, first of all, that is a question that I should be answering, talking about what was happening with me at that time, after COVID and before COVID, from doing my things, labeling to going solo, that was going on. Late diversion in music is starting to change. Was me trying to explore and see things differently,
Yeah, no, get that.
Let
me take it back to the future. Madinari.
Yeah.
That's something that pops up when anyone Googles you on social media. Is that where you grew up? Standard 1, Standard 7?
No, that's actually that's residence because my dad is from Tabala. And my mom from Bopitsani, so migration over from Gaborone to Madinara was because she was trying to find a better living for us.
Okay,
Yeah.
So who's in the house? Like, who did you grow up with?
I grew up with my siblings.
This is your mom, your dad, and your siblings?
We were raised by a single parent, my mom.
Okay.
Yeah, my siblings.
All right. Because I'm trying to figure out who was singing in the house. Where did you get it?
Apparently, they say that guy was singing.
What is that guy? Yeah?
Okay, they say my dad was singing because I never got to experience that. And I've had kopelo hale mo go lady, you know, and my younger sisters le bone ba opela blind.
At what age did you realize that you actually had a gift for singing?
Which year?
At what age were you when you discovered where you could hold a note?
When I was around about 7, you know.
Yeah.
7.
So
that's when
like, were you all singing at church? Where were you all?
Yeah, we were doing it from church because a lady can lead that area thing. She was always meeting, you know, someone was saying when she would take us. Now was sitting the Easters out to play, so what.
Yeah.
We were there to do songs and perform songs, that thing, yeah.
All right. So, Buzgela, where are you going to school? Are you in Madinari, or are you going from the different places that your mom was taking you guys to?
I started my primary Mohaboroni Helana Tumele primary.
Okay.
And then I went to Ikehem primary. And then I went to Maran CJSS.
So you're a Gabs nigga. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
I'm talking to a guy from the Bundus. Kantia, just from here. Come on. Dog.
And then
you
I
grew
went
up in Gabs.
to Marang, and then I went to Madinaro, Kafum Tuwami. That's when I did my junior and then my senior.
Didn't you cry when they took you back?
No, I didn't cry.
Yeah.
Because honestly, it was hard.
For your mom?
Yeah, even for us, it was hard. What was
hard?
When we went there,
what was hard? Like quality of life?
Yeah, the quality of life and dependency here, like, you know, there wasn't anything to depend on that particular moment. It was only our mom there who had this and that for us. When we went to Madinari, that's when things started opening.
Okay, so are your siblings or are they younger than you?
Yes, I have firstborn Arun and then they're going
to be watching.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Can I live on 4? Yeah. And then I have Bonakebali 2.
Oh, okay.
So
you're the middle?
7, yeah.
All right. So you all grew up together?
Yeah.
That's dope, though. Yeah. No, shout out to your mom.
Yeah.
But what can you say are some of the qualities what you think you picked up from your mom? Because like she's out here doing her thing.
All the qualities that a mother could ever have and a mother could ever give to somebody, you know.
Yeah.
She has everything, man. I've seen everything about her, the love and the affection, everything. Yeah.
So how did you finally then come back to Gabs? Were you coming for UB?
Okay, this is what happened. Yeah. After I get 12 from 5 in 2012, senior, I just decided to come here and then sing because I was doing that already. Go school.
Okay.
Kopela mo drumming, kopela ko SU, kopela traditional kaha.
Yeah.
Ko assembly hotle. I would sneak out of school and then go and record outside.
Yeah.
I get perform entertainment. So the aim was to do the same thing because I was seeing these guys on TV, the likes of ATI and Spiza. I would watch them over and over the videos of Banana After's Girl.
Yeah.
So that was keeping me going. Or how at school, go and do that.
But year were you born, Motlha? Like,
yeah, it feels fresh.
How old are you?
I'm 30.
Sheesh.
I got a 94, hella.
Okay,
Yeah.
So that makes sense. I'm old, guys. So every time I like it, I used to listen to ATI and Spiza. I'm like, yo, these ones came like a long time after we were already, doing our thing. So you used to see the videos on Flavor Dome on
I used to download them and watch their videos,
So is that how you ended up joining My Star?
That's how I ended up joining My Star. And remember the struggle that I was talking about from Gaborone to Madinari, law and that was pushing me on to say, you know what, do this so that you want a home for yourself. You can get a home for you guys.
So to get a home?
Yeah, to get a home, to get a place for us, because I would say from 5.
Yeah.
So shift team yeah.
You never thought about tertiary? Like, how are the grades, man?
The grades were fine.
No, there's a difference. You know, you can jump ship or you can be pushed. So
yeah, the grades were fine, and then I even got opportunities even today to go to school.
Yeah.
You know, I went to City Varsity in Cape Town after the my start thing, and then I chose music.
Yeah.
You know, the grades were fine, and the grades are still fine.
I have to check.
Yeah.
You know, people be thinking musicians are dumb. So I have to make sure. But My Star is a significant part of your journey.
Yeah.
Who introduced you to My Star, and how was your audition?
That was back in 2014. Nikki TV, so I just thought, okay, I'm ready for it. Let me go. And 2014, it didn't pull through as expected. So 2015 I tried again, and then that is the year yeah.
All right, so with My Star, for those by have never experienced it, because clearly it had fans everywhere in the country, every time there were auditions. Where did you audition? In Gaborone?
Yeah, I auditioned
for both times.
Yeah.
All right, so when you're in the process and you're coming in week after week after week, are you guys being given coaching, or you know, you're on the cutoff point, so you go home, you do the preparation by yourself, or do you have someone mentoring you during the process?
Like the past few seasons semester, where the contestants got the coach or other artists who were there to mentor them, you know.
Yeah.
Because during our time, you do your own thing, and then you wait for critique on stage, and then you go back home, and then you pick another song, you sing, and then on and on and on.
No one was actually helping you get better.
Yeah.
But when I ready to judge, I mean, the process, I think a lot of people, when their favorites don't win, but the judge, but the voting system. How was your experience with My Star? Was it fair?
It was fair
because you won.
Because I won.
Yeah.
Because of
But was
the
it fair, like for anyone else, who would like to experience it? Because it's still happening to this day.
It was fair because, you know, Nakwarona, like I'm saying, there was nobody tampering with whatever you are trying to do.
Yeah.
If you wanted your props to be this way on staging, you would arrange your props.
Okay.
You would get this and that. If you wanted your song to be this key, you would do that for yourself.
Okay.
So it was fair. Even the votings are thing, nobody could tamper with. I believe that. Yeah. Because no papa bato.
Yeah.
And the number and the super yeah.
All right, and what would you say about Master D? He's, you know, the pioneer of the show. Simon You know what I mean? How is he as someone who's leading, you know, a bunch of kids into stardom? What is your relationship with him?
Okay, we've had a good relationship, me and him. And shout out to him for playing a role in my career.
Yeah.
And shout out for him for playing a role in my career and the artist who came after me. So he's you know, like indifferences or stuff. You know, when you work, but
I know, you have respect.
Yeah.
Because I'm not trying to get you in any type of trouble with him. I mean, he put you from a certain point to a certain point.
Yeah.
But a lot of people like to say, this whole, you win and then you go and record an album in England. Did you go record an album in England?
Yeah, we did.
So they're lying on him.
We did.
Motlha, did you go to England?
I should have brought everything about me.
I'm really trying to
I went there, you know, and then we did.
You're moving from the mic. Papa.
We did an album. We did an album, really 3, because nearly top 3, number 1, number 2, number 3. Me and these other 2 girls, Patricia and Hailey.
Yeah.
So we did an album, really 3.
Okay.
Okay, we need to do a joint album. You know, so the album never went anywhere.
What happened to it?
Because the office, I believe, was centered in Momutonga. Let me say. I he will play guitars, you know.
Yeah.
what we saw tshameka katara, but you know, for variation, o tshwanetse gore gongwe nka be tsentse ke lekgowa gape le lungu gore rona re ja bule ka kwa le rona ka kwa bona, something like that. And then dinepe le tsone go edita, you know, stuff like that. So that is why I believe the album never went anywhere. Gape it was based so much more element in ya sekgowa thata ka kwa bona. You
were singing in English?
Yes.
Wow. So production process, I think, did you guys realize that, you know, he wanted his ideas more than Nasarete Lona or something? Because these albums never come out. They've been winners over and over and over the years, but like we've never seen any of the projects come out. There's only been a few where you've seen like a video, someone in London recording in the studio. And this is not to dog him. He's my big homie. But like, why don't the albums ever drop? And with all of the support that Batswana already gave while you guys are amateurs, you'd think, the album would go. So why do you think the albums never drop or are successful mainstream-wise?
I think, you know, like this kind of approach and advices that I'm talking about, or isn't gore motho a ire do tsotha a le one. Wa bona ebile ha ile hore ke nna ke dirang sengwe le sengwe, I need to be open for you to say, oh, let's counter. No, doc, ha dirana lana tsenya semamang ha, let him handle this thing. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, you know, your answers are concise, because I'm really trying to figure out why. You know, it never drops. But I think we'll have him here one day to come and break it down himself. So you guys come back from England, the album doesn't drop. What do you do?
That's what happened after Bwakwa.
Because popularity is
and then the demand was here, people were talking so much about it. And then I went to school. I think I went for 4 months.
There was a bursary again.
I think I went for 4 months, and then 4 months I think so my mind is set, I want to do music, you know, and
but this also because of my style. It's just like my style.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then
Nayame. Come on now.
Yeah. So ngwaga ke nako eno go bulwa AFDA, you know, PODI. So I wanted to go to AFDA, not Cape Town City University, and do sound engineering. I wanted to do something. So me trying to change that, already sponsorship approved. So I had to go, you know. I went there, okay, sharp. I didn't have baby. I was before. I got my computer and then what's a notification? I pina Ramanta Brown, I black man party. I felt pissed and offended so much. Can I feel like this is what I should be doing? Kili pissed, making inspired. Shout out to her too. She started something there.
Definitely.
Nobody started that. She started that. Amanta Brown, you know.
Style.
Yeah, she started that.
Because you know I was going to come to that, because you guys are a generation of these R&B singers who sing in Setswana. You know, and Black Mampatile was also. So you are here confirming what Ama was the first to come up like that.
She did that, and then I got inspired. The reason why I left school is because of that.
Yeah, no, your name was a banger.
Yeah.
We had never heard anything like that. Someone singing a Setswana ballad over a keyboard.
It was something else.
So, wait.
Yeah.
So what do you do then?
And then I came, and then Mamotse. No, before Mamotse, that was 2017. I met former dancer such Abigail, and then we formed a group. Maybe to the Rocking Stars. Ropela di House Kwasa. That was my first time, first get in the studio, trying to figure it out. And then I left them. I did my thing. That's when I did Mamotse. Yeah.
Shit. Come on, House Kwasa to Mamotse? What happened there, dog? Because like Mamotse Leone, just like Black Mampatile, did something to the game. A lot more Setswana, a lot more Manatitsapuo, you know, I don't know how you did it for such a young guy, because that's what always blew me away about like your writing style. You know, this guy is so young, but you know, you have such control of your voice. You know how to, you know, effect whatever emotion you want. So how then did you decide, okay, this is the lane that I want to go? And who produced Mamotse? How did you guys come together?
Yeah, that's where it started. I did a lot of things, like I'm saying, after school. house kwasa ke tsaka ka pela mo gona le reggae nyana, you know, trying to find the right sound for me. And then I did a song called Sesame. That's when Suffocate called. You know, Avantelets, and then come to me, and then we agreed everything. He did Mamotse Kuzi, KK Music Production.
Whoa, okay. So this is where the story becomes interesting.
Yeah.
Cling, cling. All right, so what was the inspiration behind Mamotse?
The sound itself.
I wouldn't say the story.
For Mahoko, I wouldn't say it was inspiration from Selele, you know. They played the sound, and then I felt like, okay, out of all the sounds, this is the right sound.
That's the one.
Yeah, and then I tried to sing that way more. Yeah.
Was Suffocate already set up a record label by then?
No, he had no studio. He had no studio, you know.
Just to get us started.
Mofuni, he called.
When he heard Sesame?
Yeah, when he heard Sesame, he called. Tota through cousin later ke tota raskimelana ba money. Tsa late tlamana le tsa late tota, that's how we met.
Yeah.
And then he came at tatela will dumana taka kontraka. Very sign.
Near in contract. If you remember.
If I remember, and that's another thing, because from a fresh mind,
you didn't read it, did you?
I didn't read it.
I'm saying this. I would have done the same thing. I would have just took that thing. This is my chance.
Because okay, I want to do this, and you are really, really dying for this thing, your music.
Yeah.
And then the only thing that you are having in your mind and your heart is that you don't think about any other thing that is going to happen to you.
Yeah.
So how you're about to get it on.
Yeah.
You just go ahead.
You sign.
By the way, you've never signed a paper like a contract before.
Yeah.
This is your first.
But Safo clearly knew something. Usually, motropo majita haba dire pampiri or you know highly kanya passion mo studio ra game ra opela but rataka.
Clearly, he knew something. Yeah. Or okay, 2 months, 4 months after this, the next year,
Mamutse comes out. Did it blow up immediately when it got on the radio? Was it the only song you guys nearly recorded?
It was the only song.
Yeah, in Khabane. This is when you guys recorded.
Just one song, and then the one we were working on, I read the profile, and then we'll drive around. I'll read some of them, then retire by Utu Sapel. Someone review or Chaco, Monera, Ebra Cops, Pina, we'll do that.
Cops shout out Cops, man.
Yeah, shout out to Cops.
That guy, you know, Cops will take other musicians' music and send them to other music compilers and other radio stations. So some people really don't know what guys like that exist. So do you get shows now? Are you seeing money now? Because that song was everywhere. Bro.
Yeah. But right now, I'm still getting booked because of that song. I have a lot of time in between ke sa release mo ntsi, you know, ke le go hela ke le mo go diselo, you know.
Yeah.
But that song is the reason why ke feel every time somebody calls, it's like, yo, Motlha ra go tlhoka. It's because of that song. Ha le nyalo mona re pata pina mamotse re bata re pina mamotse re bata ga ta ka pina mamotse, you know. Yeah.
So is that after Mamotse you stopped?
Yeah.
So I'm trying to figure that out. You're telling me now the dream is starting to show itself, and then you just stop. You know, what happened?
Okay, after Mamotse, it wasn't like a stop. Yeah, because I did Bohisa ATI, you know. You know, and then 2018, 2019, 2020. COVID. After COVID, I started working on leaving the record label because I wanted to go solo, you know. And then finally I managed to leave. And then everything had to start from the beginning. Because like I said, I started this thing, I was just ke ke na le lerato la gore I want to blow up, I want to make it, I want to make it for my family, but I made it come and start, and it felt so good. I wanted to go on and on and on and on. Yeah.
So when Mamuda is blowing up, this is where I start seeing you hanging out a lot with ATI.
Yeah.
Because I was around ATI around that time also, Kagobo Block 5. Did that have an effect on your career and your relationship with Suffocate?
Yes, it did.
How?
It did. First of all, like, there was that space to hang around, you know. I was doing it out of the fact that it's ATI, man, you know. You want to hang around the guy and then...
You grew up watching him,
and then,
you know?
Yes, because of that. And then you are told, you know, you don't have to hang around certain people. And then when you don't even know why, up until you know why, okay, you hang around, you do your stuff, you make hit songs, and yeah, man, yeah.
No, go on, Motlha.
Yeah, man.
Well,
and but the main thing here, you know, experience that thing. Like, let me talk about working with him, ATI. Yeah. It was a good experience because I was able to explore and work out of my comfort zone.
You got better.
Yeah. I felt I got better with him because even the way I wrote, you need to write even more and more. Yeah.
So he was a good addition to Botshelo ba gago.
He was a good addition to Botshelo ba me.
Safo na jampetse nkae. Hey, I'll wait, Papa. I mean, you end up you part ways with, you know, someone where you were starting to build something really dope.
Yeah.
Because like right now, currently what's going on is we're seeing Chokoma and Ju Matere fighting each other, and people are saying it's older influences from the music industry that are making it complicated for them. Literally, because they're a threat, you know. So I'm trying to figure out, is it something like that with Safo and you hanging out with an older artist who was already in the music business?
I don't know. I cannot speak for that. What I know is he didn't love it. He didn't love me hanging around.
Why?
You know, these guys. And after now, independent, and it's when I realized why. It's not because they were trying to influence me bad.
Yeah.
Advice bad. Because the only words they were telling me is to speak for my money. You know, the only things they were telling me is to like work on myself, you know, make sure I be there, happy like a batho, ke ska ke itswalla, ke tsene mo bathong, ha lo re ska we le show, ke show nya ga ska. Yeah, eseng ko neng ko bolella teng go to no, you have to be here, you don't meet that. Those were the advice they were giving me, which is right, which is not wrong.
Yeah. So at Rock Lefatshe, you nelenna mo le bozing ne le sa ye gope.
Ne re nna ebile we not Double Up was not allowed to see me, to come and visit me.
Yeah.
Not that guy. None of these guys. Because maybe it was the fear thing, or okay, competition, okay, a sound incha, Double Up thing, ATI, you know, competition, you know, I don't think. It wasn't about that.
Yeah. So do you think Safo was right? In hindsight, how lebella gumra?
Business-wise, he was right.
Yeah.
But the chances about Botswana, I can be friends with you. I can get on studio with you. We can work.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean competitor. We have to fight.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have to be friends. You know.
But you see, that's the thing, though. The lines get blurred. Hardly the talent we're competing, especially if we're doing the same type of music. And like we've been talking about, Sonesa style, Sonesa Setswana saying, you know, who was running it apart from Ama, you, Double Up, ATI, you know. So I'm thinking, style or whatever.
Yeah. Or expose a lot of what I know about that. Yeah.
So what was the final meeting between you two and Lesaf Ore even na gona gore la betsholo? Kana le betsholo tsa le sa buisana.
No, go betsholo ra betsholo tsa go simolla ke bona gore to go nna mkubukubu a bona. Tota we not that face. Because we've never had altercation e pe matsogo o le ka mahoko. Ha se hela ya tune e tsoletsegile a bona. No, I'm saying this and that and that. Yeah, those we used to have. I think I was being big-headed, you know. I was starting to say things as they are. I wanted what I wanted. Like I'm saying. So sometimes when you say it, straight in like a disrespect.
I hear you, pa.
And then after I keep meeting, let's say I was talking about my money. More reasonable le wena hela ntlhaloganya ha tswa ha boya go lorele kwa bo mmalela re no this guy wa lapisa to tabile it's working this guy will thola le wa bona because I was saying what is mine.
So he started sabotaging you or what?
I'll put it that way, or it was starting to feel that way because even some of the people were saying that to me. When I know what the Namoto and Honsana Lana, but the midnight or thing, after COVID, I had to be really there, you know.
Yeah.
And say it as it is. Or okay, if you owe me, you owe me. Nele 1,000 to ame ha ile hore go ngo santsa ta tsa kgwedi nyana thalo se kgwedi ha ile hore go ngo motshwere nele e be re bakana.
So Motlha, like after, okay, I know you were trying to get your money, but why did you stop making music? Like you did Hisa and the track that you did, the tracks you did with ATI, but I'm sure by now you knew how to move around.
By now we find.
So kira go no na kutsa ting yano, was it depression? Why were you not being seen around? Because I'm going to bring another issue, which you know he's also been heard to mention, not directly, allegedly. You know what I mean? You know, there was substance abuse whenever you were hanging around with ATI. So I don't know if you know about that. So I don't know if you want to answer that. Were you guys partying too hard and then Suffer was being the responsible guy and saying
Sharon the voice and I got go face for another. Hararo hello mother. And then by that time, you know, that's when I saw this is getting out of hand. Remember, I was saying we had a good relationship, me and the guy, you know. And then I wouldn't say it's what like my writing skills and stuff like that. We were not partying too much, we were partying. We were partying like people, you know, and everything that I learned go. Everything he learned go. We met as friends because we were vibing, and then that was it. We get on studio or we sit malaping or quality pin, and then that was it.
Because you know some people really don't know or there is drugs in the Botswana music industry. How easy is it to fall into that trap?
It's as easy as ABC, you know. And to get out of them too, it's hard. You know, I fell victim to that once, you know, and then I found my way out of it. That's why I get easy, and then it's so hard to get out. More so that how we tell a lot of my good na ha itsekegela sente mo se lo re mo go sona go na la mathata kwala. There is no escape on that. It's not like you can say I hide behind them. You can't hide behind them.
When did you release Papa?
Papa was 2020.
2020. So when you know you were battling, you know, substance abuse, because it's not that easy to get out of. When did you feel, okay, cool, because some people don't know gore how motho antse you know ntse o itlhasetse ka dio tse yana o end up o tshaba le go tsena pele ga batho
exactly
le gore batho ba go bone o nna bo itswaletse mo ntlong hela you know, and you're a very shy guy. I'm really proud of this happening right now. I wish you could like that. You feel now, yo, I can't be back here. Let me get the fuck out of the house. Let me go and see people. Let me start interacting. When was that for you?
I think for 2022, that's when everything started to be light on me. I think the effect that the reason like I had to do something, you know. I had to think differently. I had to change certain things. I had to lose people. I had to turn into some person else, you know, because I remember that first guy. One time, I don't know, my friends, these friends that I used to have around me, I want to share my journal. But see you, alien like one. I think I got that, and I need to thank God because of that. It came one, and then I took a decision, and then, I'm here today.
What about the post of my speak or Nico Charity Moko Molo? No, he's taking them off. I want to talk about Khoisan because some people think when they came out, Mogolwane Safo gave them your style.
Yeah. They're right to be feeling that thing. Is true what they're feeling. And one thing I think that should be told, Yitumela podcast, you know, because this is the only time I feel comfortable right now. I feel happy it's because of the relationship that we have.
No doubt, Papa.
Yeah, so I'm going to be fair enough about everything, you know, not trying to manipulate any statement, not trying to give impression wrong. I'm just going to be straight about it.
Yes, sir.
They came, Khoisan came, you know, they got signed after Rona. Rona ran a double up, you know, we're working there and it was awesome. Even when they came, it was awesome. Basanzabala 5, you know, I worked on that first song, Yabona Maravili, Nale double up, I think Leperion. And
Leperion.
Yeah, and Lera, Nale Motenga Khoisan.
The little Nana.
Yeah. So kenenele powerhouse so gona ha almost stage na la sengwe
kantora motho ile gore ke kaveni wa itse diotse
she wrote ene ke na go le invest ga go moteng ga pina ntlantle, you know, and then we're working on that songs.
All right, so they came through to the studio, and then you guys were able to write music for them. When you are writing this music, this is while you guys are not properly together, the management, but you are around the studio. What was the intention? You are all producing this. Are we all gonna get money out of this? I
think Nelo never be, because even to credit that thing is not even there, you know. Only now some of people know her. Okay, Motlha worked on Khoisan song Nyantan. And I think the problem came after Manganga or no, you can't. It was completely different. And then one day when I come back, drum line in Shaban, and then I'm like, the drum line is on. So complaining about that too became a problem. I know. This is my sound. It's either, like I said back then, it's either it's going to kill me or we can't do the same sound, because we worked on that again, Double Apo, and then we managed. Double Apo did his own thing, and I did my own thing.
Double up, but I think he'll come here and answer for himself, because he's another one where he's right there, but it never seems to like pop off for him, because it's like because anyone who tries to walk out of Rock Lefatshe seems or something happens. You know, I'm trying to figure out, Honore, since you guys had such a good sound, why, you know, do you think he's selfish? Or greed?
I should be saying this, ki face a camera, you know, that thing needs to change, you know, for those artists, he need to open up to new ideas. He needs to let other guys do stuff for him.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
but as you grow up, you need to let other people do stuff for you, you know.
Yeah.
Find other producers who can work on our vocals, find Badikatara, like credit mongwe le mongwe. Don't say Pina Kehas Mamman created by Suffocate, guitars by Suffocate, drum by Suffocate, just because you paid these guys. You paid them money, but you've never played a guitar in that song.
Yeah.
You don't know how to play a guitar. You don't know how to play the drums. So why not be open enough for a law name game meet a whole?
Yeah.
Because Rock Lefatshe it's a big deal. It's a big record label, you know. Swana lebo Benghai, Swana lebo any other studio thing, you know.
Yeah.
But the only dynamic that can make it work is because how ka togelwa go dirwa ya ka go tshwanetse go diriwa. Yeah.
Yeah, ne? That's crazy, dog. Let's talk a little bit about the awards. You were nominated for a couple of awards.
Yeah.
You know, with these awards, was there, you know, did you win any of them?
No, I never won an award.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I see here you also performed at the London Carnival. When was that?
Okay, man.
Okay, Baba.
I'm not sure about the day, but back then, you know, I think during the time when Abu Master, I went to.
It was around that time.
Yeah.
Okay, so it wasn't after the release of your album.
No.
So, Motlha, if we were to talk about your career in general, how long can you say you have been a practicing musician? Because when if you were to put it together, you'd say, I've been a practicing musician for how long? Right now? From the beginning where you dropped Mamuda to your last release.
I don't know how I can put it.
Because it's like go stops.
Yeah, so I don't know how to put it because I've never been able to keep a consistent record yet in Lena. Okay, this is what is going on. Yeah.
So no other label tried to reach out to you? I mean, you've worked with Chama.
Yeah.
I think you've written for Slizer.
Yeah.
You've written for Chama as well, Chama Girl.
No, I've never wrote a song for Chama Girl.
Hey,
only Slizer.
He said he didn't write it. Okay. Okay, so you wrote for Slizer. Why didn't any one of them try to pull you Mokempo Nyabon? Or was there anyone who was interested in signing you? Or why weren't you trying to continue with
it wasn't the cancer who sign a record label and stuff. As a team. I think I ended up pulling away Kilebele's vision, you know, trying to work on something that's different from theirs. Yeah.
Your musical style.
Yeah.
Is it Afro jazz? Is it R&B? Is it traditional Setswana? What is it? What music does? If you are to be up for a Bomu next week or a Yama, you know, which category would you like to be appreciated more on?
Okay, I would like to say AfroTswana. I get AfroTswana.
Okay.
If I were to start genre of what I'm doing, because every beat here Afro, you know, you can feel the elements as African, more tribal. So let's Tswana since. So I'll say AfroTswana what I'm doing. Yeah.
Who are your top 5 favorite AfroTswana groups right now? I'll give you time.
Botswana.
Yeah, Botswana. Okay. While you think about it, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, we have some art here from Ditupo Mogapi. Yeah, you can check them out. Go recurate art consultants and curators.
Yeah. Okay, Double Up.
Oof.
That's my friend.
Can I ask you something about Double Up?
Yeah.
He's clean. He's got the vocals. He knows how to pick good songs. He was out ambitious. You know, we all heard about how bad Ambitious is, but this nigga is dope.
Too much.
So how Bualene is your boy? Like, what's up?
I think that one, he will come here.
Well, what do you think it is?
I can believe it. I don't know what's on a Botswana. Yeah, I can know what's on. Can't them you know, yeah.
So let know I feel like something is definitely not together in the stars.
Yeah, but for really, it's not good, Juanan. If we put it that way, it's not good, Juanan. For me, if I say for him, evidently, I go so well sharp, yeah.
But me want to push on to record it.
Yeah.
Who is he recording with? Because you could easily have been doing that as well. Because the songs are dope, like I'm saying, and with just a little push, I'm sure you get some playlisting. People can ultimately book you guys.
Yeah.
You said your business, so I'm always wondering, is there someone out there stopping it?
I don't know. I'm not even sure about it.
Do you think there's someone who's actively stopping you from blowing up?
I think it's a matter of this manipulation. It's not a manipulation. It's a direct one. It's a crazy one. Direct and crazy because it's not hidden. It's here. You know, it deals with you right now and then it hits a right now. So I think before there is somebody who is sabotaging or blocking anything, let me talk about the manipulation of the game itself. It's beyond a game of chess or something. It's a different game, industrial music. Yeah.
Can I ask you about what you think about the Jumatere and Chokoma issue?
I think it's a matter of miscommunication. Somebody else when we are addressing the same issue, how would I have imagine
it was you and Double Up.
Because it's a matter of miscommunication between them and then allowing emotions to fuel because of what the community is saying before they meet and try to talk it over. You know, that 5 minutes the comments it's a feud between these guys. They are friends.
Yeah.
Had they seen this thing from the get-go and then meet and talk about it. Yeah.
More it's a piho but nice. And manipulation or right
there and there. You don't even think about, okay, let me sleep on it.
To react, the
video but already the damage is
done. God damn. Yeah, we're still talking about the AfroTswana artists. Which other one did you see out there?
There's Identities.
Yeah,
it's good.
What do you think he does differently from everyone else?
He's trying to work on element. Ke feel hore o bereka thata mo element e lo re togetswe ke boraro na mogolo ko morago. Let me say element lady on our pelapina mentware yeah, you know bo khobola le tuna ga go ha pela king here mo hore okay
States, East Africa straight up, straight up, yeah. So he produces, you know, so it's always nice to see when someone I produce some music. I mean, he works with other producers, but it's always nice and then he sings on that. I'm at number 3, sir.
Then we have Sereti. Sereti and the Natives.
Have you ever talked to Sereti about a song?
We've talked and it never materialized. I think behind stage, we need to.
But now you got a manager.
We never made a follow-up.
Follow-up with you, Mr. Sereti. Because I don't see any song, like I've been in the studio with you, Motlha. Like, I never know what to expect. Like, when this nigga opens his mouth, from the melody to the words, and I'm always blown away. You always see me. I'm always a fan inside the studio. That's why I think the peanuts are doing and then we end up playing them too much, and then we don't release them. You know. So Sereti, what do you think is different about him? What makes him stand out?
He's musical, I'm a musical blend, and he knows music. He has an ear for his song. He knows what is going on. I like Tony and Tayala Rihanna. He knows what's going on with the song. Yeah,
no doubt. Number 4, I'm giving you 5.
We have this girl Palampina Yamabot Ras Logic. Ras Logic. Yeah, we have Ras Logic.
I don't think I've heard him.
You need to check him out.
Oh God.
Yeah.
And then what makes him special?
I think his writing skill and then trying to keep the dynamic yarona every time he's on his song. Yeah.
Number 5.
Number 5. Let me put it Balaba Beji. Number 5 I think. So that is 6.
Yeah.
Is this young guy also Antabala? I heard Zeus Abuaka Maloba at King's Music.
Yeah.
You know, I met him through WhatsApp, Helen Sendela, his stuff, and then we started talking to. He's something else.
You keep your ear to the ground, huh? You know what's going on in the game. Because usually I should know at least 2 out of 5. But Boras Logic, Atkins, it's nice to hear. So do you see them? Because there's new artists coming out every other day. What do you think it takes to blow up Botswana for bana ba eleng gore go ngotswa gone go thabala kwana ga itse ope kwano ke dio tse dingwe tse eleng gore ka di dira gore a khone gore ipe in a position where they can actually be successful from your observation hello and how libelate because bangwe ba tsena mo ga ba itse ope you know I mean to give an example of the same guys we were talking about Chokoma was here and he was telling us about how he was a barber akhatha moriri hela o tsene mo moshatela tsene mo moshateng nna ba go jaiva le malaita gagwe kante wa go kopana le ju ba go dira dipina wa blow go nna yana so for the younger ones ya ka o setse o itse dipina tsa bona yana Boras Logic le ba bang what do you think they need to do and what do you think they need to avoid ha ba setse ba le ba tsena mo go business yone especially as singers tsa Minaswana.
I think first of all is to get the right team. Team e botlhokwa ya ka nne ke bua dio tse dingwe you can't be great alone, you know, you can't be your own stylist, I can't be my own barber, I can't be my own DJ, I can't be so find a strong team hela and Sabobedi, don't fall for this manipulation.
How do you avoid it though?
Stay true to your lane, you know. I get on a lane, okay, the game runs on. I know when I bapalone,
it's harder. It's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard. But it's almost impossible to avoid. But you know, just keep an eye out.
Yeah.
Not everything is good for you. But you know, you are a musician and you're supposed to be mysterious. You're supposed to be hiding, at least watching some TV or hanging out with your friends at home. Because so you have no business impressing. So just keep an eye out, guys. You just told us you have a child, but there were rumors at one point, especially when you were hanging around with our boy, about your sexuality. Yes. Was it the clothes? No, really. So once and for all, are you gay?
Why are you gay?
Why are you gay?
Hey, yeah. I was never gay. Yeah, I've never looked at another man and my sexuality, straight as it is, I think confusion came from so I'm straight. I have 2 kids.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Are you going to get married soon? To Marubana?
No, that's another story for episode 8. I need to talk about it on the next episode.
Okay. I want to talk about being a role model.
Yeah.
As a public figure, do you think you have a responsibility to address the issues out here, most spaces, substance abuse, GBV? Do you think celebrities have anything to do with helping?
Of course, yeah. Because first of all, celebrity is being celebrated. Yeah. What are you being celebrated about? You are being celebrated about something where now see impact about in a right way, in a good way, not destroying it, but is set in the right path. So I think we have so much to do with the the substance, and GBV and all these other things. Yeah.
I want to get into after 2020. How was 2020 for you? Because a lot of people didn't survive 2020. Nothing was going on. Yeah. But you released music in 2020.
Yeah.
What was the plan there? Like, what were you trying to do? And did it work for you? And this was your return, I guess, pretty much.
Yeah.
So how did that go? And nobody I
think it worked for me because by then, Leone, the social media wasn't focused so much on COVID and everybody was trying to get up and do what's best. So the recognition thing but
okay, what about the one you did with the DJ? Because that one, I thought, this was like you now going to the South African market. And at that time, I think you did a visualizer, Jack Botoko.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know the song.
Yeah, Noyan.
I think you're on a Noyan. Yeah. Some scenes in Josie.
Yeah, like last year. Yeah, DJ AD.
What was going on there?
DJ AD, initially the plan was to work on an EP.
Okay.
DJ AD. So what happened is I did 4 songs more thing, and then the rest so we went to Joburg, Kapine one hello nano yana raho shooter chakajek. Yeah.
So blowing up in South Africa or getting a deal in South Africa, has it ever been any part of your plans?
Yeah, because I've had a better come up. I've performed there before. I've shot my first music video on a Mamuda shot there. I've done interviews on TV and stuff. So I've wanted to go there to South Africa or take my export. But right now the aim is international out of Africa.
Yeah. Are you recording?
I am, but I stopped recording because I have a lot of material.
What about the ones you've been recording over the years? But like, you have so many songs that you've recorded in different studios. Are you going to go back for those songs too?
Exactly. I'm done recording and I'm still recording. Just to finish them and then we are good to compile.
You have new management now.
Yeah.
Great young lady also.
Yeah.
This is how it actually happened. And then we're like, and then today, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Manager and Motlha ka or no pala go tswa mo chopis and then abantirela ka ha ba kana ke manager Motlha and tsansamela ka hana. So you have a good one. You have a good one. And I love that you have management right now. What are the plans? Ke gona gore release the peanuts and get out there.
The plan is to release the songs. The plan is to continue. I can really fresh. We have already put everything in place. So we have to start afresh. The platform, everything. Settled now. We are doing it.
Do you think, do you go to church?
I don't go to church. I pray. Yeah.
So do you think it was God's will?
Yes.
Do you think you know the reason why?
The only reason that I could come up, it was all because I had to learn. You know, everything that happened to me, it wasn't because it was because
Yeah. And your family, I mean, where were they at these times, really? Were you able to find refuge?
Yeah. They were there and they stood by me from day one until the last day. Out, you know, like, because I felt that I felt those kind of things. So up until the whole thing got fine.
So which are the producers that you're working with? Is there anyone that we know and any work that they've done before?
Right now I'm starting with Uzi Beats. You know, Uzi Beats. I'm working with Motlha. They just send beats, you know, and it's funny enough.
No, but you have that link.
Yeah.
I think when only power.
Yeah.
Because I think sometimes talent attracts talent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? How come reach out to you can do something good for them? So Aussie Beats?
Yeah, Uzi Beats. Yeah, and then Motlha is young daughter. Is how old is he? 21 or 22, you know. Yeah, he's the youngest of them all. We got another OB tracks. Yeah, and then Botido, you know.
Tido, of course.
Tido.
He's always the mainstay.
Obado, you know.
Yeah, Obado. Awesome stuff, man. I don't know if you guys have any questions also. No, I mean, we're not going to put the post because I'm enjoying hanging out with you here. You know? I'm enjoying hanging out with you here because I think story because it's still being told.
Hey, and then okay, let me add.
Hey,
so I should be saying right now for the people at home, and to my fans, you know, because every time to get defended bua. By the way, I'm not trying to control their opinions.
Yes, sir.
Bua, and then they get these things that they're saying from the media, from the blog, or from the online newspaper, you know, Motlha the press and stuff.
Yeah.
So by the time you bua, have a pause or somewhere else.
Yeah.
So the channel level one night with Motlha, you know, I hosted that.
Yes, sir.
Go to Super Hollow and I started by it. I had only 2 songs.
Yes, sir.
Mamuda, Hisa Hela, and then the place was packed. The ATI label, the campaign, it's a Mascom Samaya Hisa campaign, you know.
Yes, sir.
I got into fights with my fans and my family. Mainly the Khanze. Let me put it that way, you know. So I wanted to say the same manipulation of the same struggle and then the same angle is for clarity, even for the youngest, even for the next upcoming artist, you know. Because ask me how much I made from my dear One Night with Motlha.
How much did you make, nigga?
I wouldn't tell you how much I made because I never got anything.
Were you doing this under Lefatshe also? Or were you doing this with someone else?
It was Lefatshe. I was under Lefatshe. And then I know the sponsors, we had sponsors from Ministry of Youth. We had Soliri involved on that. Yeah.
Was he the one coordinating?
Yeah, I think, you know, because that was the early stages of my career. Like I was saying, everything was happening before my eyes and then it was there. The whole Super Hall was packed and then I don't know how much was made for pay table. Everything I don't know how much was
So
made. I need that closure now for myself. Yeah. Because all along, all these years, I can't on my side.
Yeah.
Motlha that, Motlha depressed, and then I never got to answer any of these things.
Was Mascom Hisa an official campaign?
It was.
Who is Angoma?
What do you say, Angoma in Hisa?
How about Nasingan?
That one, I would say, Kiboni but
Sing son.
Singane sort of
Sheesh.
Yeah.
So, I always try to tell artists with their money, you need to have agreement that thing illegally.
Yeah.
How bona o bereka le motho ele gore o simolla go dukologa a sa batle go araba gona gore okay wa reng hold this leng kana ga o hold this wa bona at least impolelle leng wa bona ke raya gore ke itse le nna gore ke nne and be a person of your word gore ha re wa re tlanka pa ka osane o bonga pa ka osane. But I think because the rata sound renda pa re sa botse dipotso tse di and then they take advantage of that. Gore santse ona le hype nyana ya go thesha go batla go opela kanteno o go le bati. So you never went on tour like?
No, I never went on tour. It was a campaign here. I think it lasted for 3 months. Yeah, because it was just a short campaign, summer campaign.
I just think people robbed you of your thing, ways, of your happiness and your ability to make money for yourself.
They did.
But by the grace of God, here you are.
Yeah.
And you've learned from it.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't.
Yeah.
Some people get into depression.
The same thing.
No, nigga. I don't want to remember that. So I think your story is beautiful in that we have so much to look forward to now. You know what I mean? So I don't know if you want to give a shout out to your manager as well. For those who don't know her and how they can get a hold of you guys.
Hey, shout out to my manager, Dinka James, just a brief she had a lot to do in my career and building me. I'm gonna leave everything as it is and be myself. Other than I can Motlha. Okay, no, let me show you how to be the right Motlha. So shout out to her and the likes of boy Enzo, Kasi, that's my nigga for days.
No doubt.
Shout out to local con.
Yes, sir.
Baba
it's ba. Bafana ba bela industrial.
Yeah.
So you're cool with a female manager over a male manager, I can take how much they get right thinking the female manager.
As long as it works.
It works.
As long as it's not for it's a it's a breather.
I can tell, even your energy alone, like.
Yeah, because I don't have to deal with so many things, And now we decided on the son and I so I don't have to. Like I
Yeah. Wow, man. Yo, now we're really, really proud of you, Papa. And I wish you nothing but the best.
Yes.
I think this is. I didn't even know what to expect. A conversation, but it's left me more positive about transformation and the ability. When you work on yourself, you'll find a way somehow.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So I just can't wait to hear the music.
Yeah.
So do we have a date for the music? Like, do we have an idea?
Yeah. The 31st May. Yeah, I'm dropping my first single. This time around, one different. I think there's going to be a space of maybe 2-3 weeks after it, and then we drop the whole package. The album, thing. Yeah.
You're going to do the DSP.
Yes.
Maranyane.
Yes, sir.
Maranyane. Awesome stuff, but thank you so much, Motlha. And guys, one more time, give it up for me. go batho e la ditse bobe khantela
Yeah.
yana re go re botsana or motho a paranda pen entseng ya re heditse ba kwena and we're coming at you from World of Wines SMCG Wines and they have all kinds of things, man, including some Botswana products. I'm sure you know Maungo Craft. You can also get them here. Yo, we got a lot of stuff, man, and most importantly, the wine. And the one that we're having is a Sauvignon Blanc from France.
Sauvignon Blanc.
Kind of mean what people don't realize is like a lot of the time we're drinking wines from South Africa.
Yeah.
So say body from all over Spain. About 10 countries, they already produce a wine. You can find them here. You can also bring your friends over for some wine tasting before you actually purchase some bottles. And we were very, very happy to be sharing this bottle with you, Mr. Motlha.
Thank you so much,
we'll
Papa.
definitely be checking out the music
Bless.
on the 31st of May.
Yes.
Shout out Local Corner. Make sure to like and subscribe the page. That's how you get the lowdown on every single thing that happens on this here page. I'm SCAR, man, and it's been dope. We'll see you again next week. Peace.
People of different identities. PODI-CAST with PODI-CAST.